Coming up on this episode of Uncommon Sense, a 4th of July special. As the United States of America commemorates Independence Day, we celebrate Purple Mountain's majesty and amber waves of grain, the proper nature of freedom, the true soldier, the right sort of patriot, and the wrong sort of politician, all through a specially selected series of quotes from G.K. Chesterton. Join us and happy Independence Day. America is the one great state in the world in which many types and races are united by one idea, the idea of the citizen. In this, it is almost more like a great church than merely a great nation.
The unconscious democracy of America is a very fine thing. It is a true and deep and instinctive assumption of the equality of citizens, which even voting and elections have not destroyed.
It is at least as possible for a Philadelphian to feel the presence of Penn and Franklin as for an Englishman to see the ghosts of Alfred and Becket. Tradition does not mean a dead town. It does not mean that the living are dead, but that the dead are alive. It means that it still matters what Penn did 200 years ago or what Franklin did 100 years ago. I never could feel in New York that it mattered what anybody did an hour ago.
And stand for love of our country.
The Declaration of Independence dogmatically bases all rights on the fact that God created all men equal. And it is right, for if they were not created equal, they were certainly evolved unequal.
We fight for the true America.
My country, right or wrong, is the thing that no patriot would think of saying, except in a desperate case. It is like saying, my mother, drunk or sober.
There is no basis for democracy except in a dogma about the divine origin of man. That is a perfectly simple fact, which the modern world will find out more and more to be a fact. Every other basis is a sort of sentimental confusion, full of merely verbal echoes of the older creeds. Those verbal associations are always vain for the vital purpose of constraining the tyrant.
Glory, 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 hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His roof is marching on.
Patriotism is one of those things which are common and therefore mystical. And like all things in this class, love, war, ancestry, death, and childbirth, it has been a great source of songs. The definition, it might almost be said, of the subject of a song is that it must be something with which everyone is familiar and which nobody understands. And if we really wish to test patriotism, to sift the true patriotism, which has the austerity and silence of all the great passions, from that fake patriotism, which is the most unpatriotic of all things, we can scarcely find any test so sound and accurate as the test of an old song.
America is the only nation in the world that is founded on a creed. That creed is set forth with dogmatic and even theological lucidity in the Declaration of Independence. Perhaps the only piece of practical politics that is also theoretical politics and also great literature. It enunciates that all men are created equal in their claim to justice, that governments exist to give them that justice, and that their authority is for that reason just. It certainly does condemn anarchism, and it does also, by inference, condemn atheism, since it clearly names the Creator as the ultimate authority from whom these equal rights are derived. Nobody expects a modern political system to proceed logically in the application of such dogmas, and in the matter of God and government, it is naturally God whose claim is taken more lightly. The point is that there is a creed, if not about divine, at least about human things.
The true soldier fights not because he hates what is in front of him, but because he loves what is behind him. The old war ballads do not dwell upon victory to anything like the extent to which they dwell upon defeat, disaster, the darkness in which alone is visible the single star of fidelity. The hero of all these songs is not the triumphant hero in the car. Their hero is the last man by the flag. The only strong nation and the only strong empire is the nation or the empire that has before it continually this vision of its own final disaster and its own final defiance. There is no success for anything which we do not love more than success. There lies in patriotism, as in every form of love, a great peril, a peril of self-committal, which, while it scares the prudent, fascinates the brave.
The Americans are very patriotic and wish to make their new citizens patriotic Americans. But it is the idea of making a new nation literally out of any old nation that comes along. In a word, what is unique is not America, but what is called Americanization. We understand nothing till we understand the amazing ambition to Americanize the Cam's cat can and the Harry Anu. We are not trying to Anglicize thousands of French cooks or Italian organ grinders. France is not trying to Gallicize thousands of English trippers or German prisoners of war. America is the only place in the world where this process, healthy or unhealthy, possible or impossible, is going on. And the process, as I have pointed out, is not internationalization. It would be truer to say that it is nationalization of the internationalized. It is making a home out of vagabonds and a nation out of exiles.
All good Americans wish to fight the representatives they have chosen. All good Englishmen wish to forget representatives they have chosen. This difference, deep and perhaps ineradicable in the temperaments of the two peoples, explains 1,000 things in their literature and in their laws. The American national poet praised his people for their readiness, quote, to rise against the never-ending audacity of elected persons. The English national anthem is content to say heartily, but almost hastily, confound their politics, and then, more cheerfully, as if changing the subject, God save the King.
The man of the true religious tradition understands two things: liberty and obedience. The first means knowing what you really want. The second means knowing what you really trust. Every sane man recognizes that unlimited liberty is anarchy, or rather is non-entity. The civic idea of liberty is to give the citizen a province of liberty, a limitation within which a citizen is a king.
To learn more about G.K. Chesterton, please visit our website at chesterton.org. To learn more about what Chesterton thought about America, we highly recommend his book, What I Saw in America, originally published in 1922, easily found in fine booksellers and online. From all of us here at the Society of Gilbert Keith Chesterton, and for Gretelyn and myself, Joe, the hosts of Uncommon Sense, please accept our wishes for a very happy and safe Independence Day. God bless.